Good morning. It's Devorah. It's InStory Live, and it is Tuesday morning, and we still have snow, and we still have the Path to Purpose project running, and it is what I want to talk about a slightly different dimension of the Path to Purpose project, because at times I've called it the Path to Purpose portal. So the reason I call it that is when I was thinking about what is the work I do, what is the InStory way, what is soul story work, what is that? And hi, Marcy. And recently my husband said, Devorah, you're a soul story technician. I went, ooh, I like that. And that's because I actually technically know how to help anybody shift out of where they're stuck, shape the essence of their being and their talents, their gifts, and develop them into something, and then how to shape them and then shift them and share them out in the world. And that is like opening a portal. I talked about it yesterday, how I saw it on the airplane, how the clouds opened a portal. So that's the purpose portal. Like that, I know how to open that up, and it's through soul story coaching work, that soul story technician work, that it opens that up, gives you access so that you can actually find your higher calling and bring it out in the world, which is what I'm doing right now. Because if you go to the Path to Purpose project.com and you sign up, you will see starting tomorrow women just like you who have a calling, haven't made it a big business yet, but have something profound to say. You will see them interviewed. And for all of them, it's their first time being interviewed on an international interview series. And you see that everybody has something to say, that if you feel that calling in your soul, you get to trust it and listen to it. So one of the things I also love to talk about and teach is, what do you do when you bump up against all kinds of stuff? What do you do when you bump up against your, I can't do it, I don't know how, I'm too small, I don't have enough? And there are a lot of ways to do it. So whenever I'm in the phase of kind of growing my vision, my business, learning, so I bump up against my version of, I don't know, won't work, I can't do it, whatever. I bump up against my, learning, sort of that new learning edge for me in what I do. So I was working on giving some feedback to somebody and working on thinking about it, and I bumped into this moment of like, well, I don't know if it's working, and I kind of watched myself go through a whole negative judgment around something, and I said, well, wait, I've done too much work, I'm not staying in this. And so I said, okay, what if I flip it? What if I just flip it over, and everything that I was thinking wasn't working, just write it down as if it's all working perfectly? And that just completely snapped me out of that way of thinking and launched a whole stream of very creative thought. And then I realized that's so timely, because in Jewish time right now is the month of Adar, and we actually have two of them this year. It's a leap year in the Jewish calendar because we go by the moon, and then we have to align it with the sun calendar. So the month of Adar is the story of Purim, and the whole story is a flip. It starts with everything that starts bad flips over to the good. Like the bad guy dies, the good guy starts to rule. Hi, Kay. It's a story of a complete flip in each little element of the story, from disaster to success, from not working to working, from bad to good. And so I did this exercise. Oh, it's on my face. And so I did this exercise to flip it. And so it's like seeing whatever your thoughts are that are not leading you in an elevated way, and then flip them to the positive. And I had such a fun time doing it. And then I resonated with the cycle of my tradition being inside that place. And so I want to offer you this fun exercise that if you ever catch yourself in a negative thought flow, to flip it And it takes a little moment of like, I don't want to, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I want to hold on to my negative thought. I mean, I gotta watch myself doing it. But if you can flip it, I said, okay, I'm gonna just try this. And I just wrote down everything the opposite of, I had been working through something that I was thinking, trying to figure out. And that feeling of just flip it, like, oh, I'm too tired. I have tons of energy. I know this sounds like a totally fake thing, and it is a totally fake thing, but it shifts your energy. And I don't tend to want to do it. Like, I don't kind of want to, but once I did, it shifted my energy, and then more authentic, clear thought came through, because maybe I am tired and I don't want to go out, but if I say, I'm feeling great, I'm going to go outside. I am strong. I'm clear. I got it. Like, it's not like I want you to like live in that fakeness. It's more of just a forcing your thought to pause. It's like a reset moment. And then when you do that, then you can get that middle land, which is, oh, I don't need to go for a walk. I need to take a nap, right? Or whatever it is. And you can kind of become more in tune with how to honor your authentic energy. Hi, Sylvia. So happy to see you made it onto my Facebook Live. Yay! So everybody else watching, so Kay and Sylvia are two of my InStory members who are being interviewed on the Path to Purpose project. And Sylvia, we're recording today. Kay, we already recorded. And hi, Lois. And it's the most amazing thing. I yesterday had interviewed 4 people, one from the main experts and 3 women from the InStory way. And I cannot tell you how much I love to interview people and help people bring their vision, their mission, their message out in the world. It just lights me up. I love hearing people's stories, and I love that sense of discovering that what you have to say matters, and that it's not about saying it perfectly. It's about being in the present moment and believing that you've lived a life that has value, and that your insights and your wisdom that you have gained matter and have value. So, you know me, I'm like always cheering people on. In fact, I speaking to someone who's, listening to the project and everything, and I was saying, my 2 of my jobs are nudging and cheering. Like, I'm always nudging people to stretch a little beyond what's comfortable, and then cheering you on to believe in yourself and your vision and what's possible. And hi, Carolyn. And that is so important, because what I see happening now so much is that for so many of us, we're feeling a higher calling. Like, it's not that our lives have been meaningless, not at all, but they have been lived to this point, and we have this extraordinary opportunity in our times now to have a longer life of just really abundant clarity, energy, enthusiasm, creativity. And now with the internet, we have this incredible reach and access available to us to find each other that we never had before. And so it gives you the opportunity to do something that has been always calling upon you, but you didn't have a form or a way to bring it out in the world. And so that's why I have seen that it's so powerful, and how I've really been able to zero in on what the InStory way process is, how the whole framework of it, the elements of what makes it work is that we do this work to shift out of the old, to shape your talents and gifts and develop them into a form. And then you get to take that into the world by getting on my summit and sharing it. And it's, I don't know, it's being asked of us, like, what you have to offer matters, and you should feel proud of yourselves, those of you who are already in my InStory way, and even those of you who aren't. The work you do in the world, value it and value yourself. And I speak to women who are just beginning sort of this part of their journey, and it's very exciting. And for many women, there comes a point where you realize it's my turn. I've been there for my husband, my children, my community, and now it's my turn to invest in myself and my vision, and And that's true. We're needed. So I hope that you are feeling encouraged, nudged, supported. And I love each morning to give like a little tip about how to shift. That's a lot of these morning teachings on Facebook are this first step of how do you shift when you get stuck or hard on yourself. Today it's flip it. So just if you happen to notice yourself in a negative thought spin, there's lots of ways out of that. Today's fun way is flip it. Like if you notice your negative self-talk, just force yourself to fake it and say, I'm really good at this. I love this. I'm doing great. Just fake it. Not permanently. Use it to shift and then tune into what's authentic in the moment. All right? Because here's the thing. I'm not about, I grew up a lot of the time with that problem being not the way to go, meaning like, I'm fine, like going around as if I was fine when I wasn't. So it's not that. That doesn't work. Actually, that really doesn't work. This is a momentary shift exercise to flip it and then get still and notice what's the authentic middle place that's not negative and not fake. Just experiment, humor me. There's an energy in the air about you can turn things around in a moment. Like it's just tuning into a higher possibility. So I'm curious, did anybody try to flip it? Did it work? What happened? Did you think of some other fun, creative way to use that idea? And if you haven't had a chance, go and sign up. If someone's listening to this later, I know all of you guys are my speakers and followers, but sign up for the Path to Purpose project because it's running now. And Carolyn, oh good. I love that. Carolyn is saying that she was in a bit of a funk and caught this, and like that was that intuitive, guidance. And one of the things about these Facebook Lives, if you're in tune, I always bring what my morning, almost always what I came to me that morning or the day before. So it really, I often say it's really fresh off the inspiration. So good, Carolyn. I'm so glad that, sometimes all we need is a little inspiration from each other. And that's why I also encourage you guys to share your own moments of inspiration with others, because we do need to lift each other up. So, one thing you can do that will get more people to see this. So Carolyn, you can then say, this really helped me, and you share it on your page. And then that allows me to have a bigger reach and more people to try this out. So that's something else that is cool to do, is to share a Facebook Live that really moves you, because then you move that energy into your community and you begin to be able to talk about it there. And then you take on a little bit of a leadership role in your community about how do we shift ourselves up, because if you're a growing, stretching person, you are always going to hit like that funk, a struggle. It's just natural. It's part of growing. And it's good to have a big tool bag on how to shift. So I'm always about increasing your tool bag. You can go back and see a whole teaching I did on Be the More You're Meant to Be, on the smile technique. And this one is flip it. For those of you who know Hebrew, know Adar, this is na'afohu. That means reverse, right? That means, basically in Hebrew, means flip it. So have an amazing day. Use this day, this moment, to shift up and out of the old and into your expanded new, and pay it forward. Share, lift somebody else up. And as always, remember to go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.